spinal muscular atrophy, and I'm also deaf. Both my challenges are progressive in nature, and however, I have studied in the mainstream school and colleges. I have not done any special schooling. By profession, I'm a content and communications consultant, and I've recently launched my own company called Ashtavakra Accessibility Solutions Private Limited. I've entered in the social enterprise space with services like accessibility audit and awareness and sensitization, capacity building, etc. The way I work is basically on a laptop. And now that I have entered the audit space, I will also have to go out, and I've been doing it. I've been going out and doing audits of public spaces. However, my entire 25 plus years was spent in the corporate and media side, and I did not need to do much field work, except when I was a journalist for about 11 years. However, that time I was walking, and that to a great extent did not hamper my work. I stopped walking, or rather, my mobility issues began in around 2005-6, and I started using the stick. Eventually, I had to start using wheelchair for long distances, and for the past 10 to 11 years, maybe more than that, I've been using a motorized wheelchair. Now, with a motorized wheelchair, I found that my mobility problems dissolved, because I could just move around wherever I wanted in my office and even outside. I could go to malls and even go on excursions or off-sites with my office colleagues, all because I had a motorized wheelchair, and it made my access to various places much easier. Because when I used to walk with the help of a stick, I would fall a lot, and I usually ended up with a fracture. So I think finally losing my mobility in a way was a blessing in disguise, because it made me more independent and active. As far as accessibility of the work environment is concerned, as I said, I've worked across different offices, and most offices, at least the internal spaces, are accessible. Washrooms used to be a big problem, and I in fact was not using any office toilet. I think I can count on my fingers as to the number of times I've used an office or a public toilet. When I came down to this new office where I actually stayed for 12 years, they were pretty advanced as far as accessibility accommodations are concerned. They built a ramp for me, and I was also provided a motorized wheelchair in my office. So that took care of my mobility to a large extent. I did not seek any reasonable accommodation. I buy my own hearing aids and wheelchairs also. However, in this last place where I work, I sought an increment to buy a motorized wheelchair for office. When they asked me why I wanted this increment, because that day the company had not been doing well and they were not giving any increments to people. So I told them that I needed a motorized wheelchair for the office, because it would make my movement across different departments very smooth and easy, and I needed to interact with a lot of people. So that's how I got this office wheelchair. They did not give me an increment, however they gave me this wheelchair. That was great. As far as my commute is concerned, I have my own personal car, and since I started using the wheelchair and I had to lug my wheelchair wherever I went, I began using an SUV, basically an Innova, which makes my commute anywhere I want to go very easy. See, reasonable accommodation is a very new concept, and not many companies are even aware of it or willing to invest any amount of money in providing reasonable accommodation to people with disabilities if they have any in their office environment. However,